Okay, you're looking to make the move to San Diego and you want to know how much does it cost to live in this expensive city and area. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down some of the costs that I see with my family on a regular basis and give you a broad idea of what it could cost you to live in this city. And I promise you, it's more than you think. Let's get to it. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge, and on this channel, I talk about everything about living, eating, sleeping, and moving to San Diego. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to be notified every time I drop a new video, which is every Tuesday and Thursday. And while I absolutely love creating these videos, I am a licensed real estate agent here in San Diego. And what I love most is helping you make the move to San Diego and your real estate decisions. So this number coming up below is how you can get a hold of me. Call, text, email, whatever you have to do. I absolutely love it when people reach out to help me help them make the move to San Diego, and I absolutely love it. So if that's you, give a reach out. All right, cost of living in San Diego. Look, people already know, you hear cost of living, San Diego, or even California, it's a lot. There's no way to shape it. It is not like you're living in the middle of nowhere or Midwest. You will pay your sunshine tax, and you will probably have to adjust your lifestyle maybe when you move here, but it's not always as bad as you may think. And there's actually a lot of areas where you can make good loopholes, and surprisingly enough, like certain things actually aren't expensive as I've seen in other states. So getting into it, the first thing I'm going to cover is gas. Okay, so at the time of this video, like the cheapest you're going to find is like Costco in like North County, and that's like $5.35 a gallon was the last thing I paid yesterday. It's expensive. Regular gas stations are between $5.80 and $6 more if you're in the center of the city. It's expensive. And on top of that, the county and state have both passed mile taxes for cars. So whether it's electric, gas, it doesn't matter. Now, they have not been implemented, but that is something coming down the pipeline where the miles you drive per year in your car will be added on to your registration, totaling roughly 15 cents per mile. Now, they are trying to postpone it because of rising inflation, and I think there's a good chance that might pass to where they get postpone it and adjust it from there. But that is another cost added on to this already expensive market. I mean, the average home price in San Diego at the time of this video is over $800,000. Now, mind you, that's incorporating everything in the county. So obviously it's going to be inflated because all the homes near the coast push it up. But just for like a 3-bed, 2-bath home, like you're looking over $600,000 in most areas of San Diego. And sometimes you might be able to find something like under that. But at the time of this video, yes, the real estate market is insane. And now with rising rates, that might change in time. But it's something that people need to realize. If you're looking to move immediately to San Diego, it's something you need to prepare for and make sure you can find where your budget fits, align with like all the other important things like location for work, schools for the kids, all of that. Now, the cost of, owning a home, obviously you have utilities. I will tell you, San Diego has some of the higher utilities I've paid. So for an average of like a 4-person, 5 people living in a home, I mean, we try and be conservative, but our water bill has been, $150 a month average. I mean, it fluctuated. It's been well lower than lower than that, but that's, at least what we're paying more often than not. My wife does love the garden and stuff like that. Electricity is going to be over $300, a month. Now, obviously, if you get a home with solar, that can impact that a lot. So we obviously have not done solar yet. It is coming down the pipeline here soon, now that we're in the new home. But that is something people need to understand is that, if you don't have solar going into a home, like you will pay very high electrical costs, especially with wildfires and things like that. And also if you live actually in random parts of San Diego, you actually go through rolling blackouts during windy season when it's, peak wildfire season. So something to take note of. Now, those are some expenses you can cost. I will say like trash, sewer, and water and all that. Relatively, I've had pretty expensive areas. So I'd say that's roughly average. The water is going to be pricier. I mean, I've seen water bills be substantially higher than that. It really depends on your income bracket and among other things. But obviously, California's in a drought. So paying extra for water, I kind of understand as long as that money's going towards good programs. but it is going to be expensive. The electrical cost without solar is substantial. Like, I mean, there's still a lot of incentives to get solar. So understand that even if you get a home out here that doesn't have solar, like that is a great option that you can add onto the home to be able to keep your costs lower, especially if you do make the decision to get an electric car, or maybe you already have one. It can help negate a lot of these costs that we're discussing here on the video. Also, an interesting thing also, that like insurance and taxes. Overall, I'd say home insurance is pretty average in a non-wildfire area compared to, like, let's say Florida and stuff like that, where they have hurricanes and all kinds of stuff. Overall, homeowners insurance is pretty average. I think for like your average home that I'm discussing right now, it's going to be about $1,200 a month, give or take. Obviously, that depends on your situation. Have you used insurance before and things like that? So it changes per situation, but that's roughly what we've been paying for our homes. But I've also seen as high as $1,700 for like homes over 2,000 square feet. So it all depends on your individual situation. Now, another thing is taxes. Believe it or not, California, actually, relatively speaking, while home prices are higher, so people look at their property taxes like, oh man, they're going to be higher. Believe it or not, like their property tax rate is actually pretty low compared to a lot of places. Like owning homes in Florida, I will tell you that it's over 1%. You know, some are even higher than that. You know, Midwest, in areas in the Midwest that have cheaper homes, it's a substantially higher percentage of your cost. So the percentage in San Diego is cheaper, but obviously home prices are so high, that's really what can hurt you in the state when it comes to making those monthly payments. But overall, I wouldn't say it's a big deterrent, because it's really the main cost that get people. Home prices, gas, and utilities are a big slam in this state, and it really can hurt you a lot, especially if you're looking to move here. And nothing's really cheap. I always say, like, California, like San Diego is a great place to live in California. I think it's one of the best out of all areas. But at the same time, you know, it is getting increasingly more expensive, because people who aren't leaving California, they're coming here because San Diego is awesome. It's definitely one of the better, I think it's the best city in California, give or take. I don't care. I'm willing to fight that opinion, but it is my opinion that I hold. So there's definitely ways to skirt costs, like we mentioned solar, and like that's the thing with California. Like, people look at the overall price, you know, like, and one thing I always tell people, right? And let's go coast to coast here. Like in California, out of all the money you make in a year, you're going to be losing about 18.5% was last year in just overall tax burden, between income tax, you know, property tax. Like overall, your tax burden is going to be about 18.5%. And you look at states like Florida, it's about 9% is like your total burden. Some states are higher than that, some states are lower, but California is definitely one of the higher states, along with like New York and I think Hawaii, when it comes to that tax burden overall. And you know, some things it makes sense, but at the same time, like, they always, every year, I swear there's a new tax coming down the pipeline that's just going to impact us again compared to the past. So all that is obviously the tax burden and all that. I think if you already made the decision, you're looking to move here to San Diego, you know it's expensive. You know it's California. You know you're going to be paying a premium to live here. And if that doesn't deter you, which it means I've seen either two people reach out. Either one, you're trying to live on a budget and you just want to get here. Well, make sure you plan well and realize that maybe it might need a stepping stone, or certain things need to happen for you to be able to move here comfortably and actually be able to enjoy your full life living here. Or number two, you may be left, or you're looking to move here finally because you actually have, let's say, the average income in San Diego, which is about 120 grand a year. You meet or exceed that budget and you're like, look, I know I want to be here. I love it. It's an amazing place to live for my kids, for myself, and you just need a plan in place, which is what I do and my team does every single day, and we absolutely love it. So it's one of those things where there are definitely ways to minimize costs, you know, solar, driving electric, and playing that game and making sure you set up things in place. But a lot of times people need to understand that if you have a job here, make sure you understand that the higher tax burden potentially, you always talk to a tax professional, but make sure that that burden that you're going to receive and that income all weigh itself out to make sure that you can actually get yourself in a great area here in San Diego, because we definitely have seen people who don't really have a plan when it comes to moving here, and it can hurt you when you start to hit the realization that, wow, it's expensive and I really need to pick and choose where I can live, where I want to live, and where I need to live. So it's all those three things. I think really, if you plan right, you can definitely, because I don't think people understand. I didn't realize this when I moved here. I was like, oh, San Diego, it's just a city. But when you look at the whole county, there's a lot of places to live in San Diego. And you look at like the over 800 grand average price point, well, obviously that's factoring in the city and the coast. But when you look at the whole county, obviously you're not having to pay 800 grand for a house, but it's still going to be a way higher price point than you expect to pay in like the middle of the Midwest. So take into account and make sure you have a plan when it comes to moving here, so you know what your budget is and how your income will be affected when making that move here and weighing all these costs yourself. So I hope you got a good value. I just wanted to give an overview of what I experienced with the cost when it comes to living here in San Diego. I think there are some ways to make these costs lower. It's not like you're eating out every single day for dinner, which can be expensive, clearly. But if you're looking to make the move, like I said, while I love shooting these videos, I also love helping you make the move to San Diego even more. So this number down below is how you can get a hold of me. Call, text, email, wherever you have to do. Me and my team have your back when it comes to moving to San Diego, and I hope to see you in the next video.